We did a few changes to the schedule. So Wednesdays in the morning, if you guys want to join us for our 7:30, starting next week, our 7:30 beach walk. Okay. It starts at the office at 7:30, and then we just walk the beach for an hour. Okay, you can bring your dog if you have a dog. Okay. And it's just a fun time to have a beach walk. Okay. Then after that, next week we have our state meeting. Okay, at 8:30. Then we're going to have the tribe meeting at noon as normal. And then this is all in the calendar. You guys should all have access to this too. And then at 2:30, we're going to have EXP training. And I'm doing that today as well. So today we're going to talk about the market shift at the EXP training. Okay. And then at 3 o'clock, we're going to have our happy hour. Now, our happy hour is where you can come and drink. You can socialize with other agents. And then if we have agents that come from other companies, we go over EXP explained. If you want to see EXP explained, again, I can do it for you guys as well. If nobody comes to the happy hour, I'm going to be doing happy hours virtually. And then it'll be related to other models, whether it's the commercial model I'm going to cover. I might even do a EXP happy hour just for the commercial brokers, because we've got a lot of commercial brokers. And this again is at the office. And then I'm also going to be branching out into other countries. Okay, so just a few changes to the schedule. If you want to take a look at that, it's in the calendar already. And that way we can focus everything on Wednesdays, and then the rest of your week is completely free. Okay, and you don't have to worry about anything else if you can just focus on Wednesday, because I know I had a couple people say that it was just too much because we were doing a few things on different days. So this way we put it all on one day. Okay. Next thing is permits. So permits have changed. So they got a new website, which is really super fun. And it's down here. You know how I used to say everything's lined up right here for you to grab? Well, of course.
Your screen isn't sharing. It just says Google Calendar right now.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So before I said everything is right here that you need for your disclosures, well, now permits is down here. So they put it on the bottom row. All right. So everybody see that right down here?
Yep.
Okay.
Kiva doesn't exist anymore.
I tried doing it the other day and it wouldn't come up.
No more Kiva. The site's gone. Now, it's now Maui Automated Planning and Permitting System. And of course, they have an acronym for it. MAPS. MAPS, if you will. MAPS. Okay. Anyway, you can apply right here for a permit now. You don't have to go down. I'm actually going to be applying for a permit probably Thursday. I'll let you know how it goes. Supposedly, it's supposed to speed up the process for people applying for permits. Okay, which is hugely important because the permitting system has been years to get stuff approved. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, you can also pay invoices in here if you have anything to pay. The request for service. Remember when the request for service was, guys? Now it's right here. Request for service. Okay, so I'm going to say I've got an abandoned vehicle on my street. I put the address in. There's an animal complaint. I put the address in. Okay, so you can submit a request now. They've organized it in a much more logical way. There's a homeless problem, illegal dumping, invasive species, potholes. They've actually categorized it.
Oh.
I thought they had drugs too in here somewhere. Which, if you guys are selling homes and you find out that there was a complaint that there was drugs and methamphetamines were being made in a home, you got to disclose that, guys. So just be aware of that. Okay. So that's the request for service. Now, if you scroll down, you can see search for public records. Okay, so we're going to go in here. We're going to search for public records. Now, you're going to type in an address. do not. How did I type? There we go. Still loading. Do not put in the street, circle, road, anything. Just type in the address. I'm going to put this one in because it's mine and say 192 Mahoney. Okay. And then it's going to pull up everything. This is super cool. So it's got the permitting, the plans, and inspections in one location. But permits are what you're going to want to see if there's anything open. Right? So if you click on permits, you can now click on the permit number. It's a little slow to load though. They haven't optimized the site yet, just so you know. Okay. And then you get your summary page, workflow, plumbing permit. Looks like they did a plumbing permit. They didn't finish it. It says completed though. So past 8/17/2010. I bet with the new system, each one of these things is just ticked off as they go through, right? If it's run through the new system. So then I can print this to a PDF. Okay. It'll be what, 2 pages probably?
Okay, and then that's what we present when we do the permits, right?
Yeah. And let me see if
Okay.
I can do, if there's a prettier way to print it.
I wonder too, because I remember with Kiva, sometimes you would get permits and then sometimes nothing would come up. I wonder if this is gonna be easier.
Let me save this as a PDF and see what comes up. Or I can do Control All. Control All pulls it. Pulls the workflow summary. See if there's a better. So this was for the swimming pool that they put in. Wish they had like one that would grab everything. So that's a little bit more challenging. Because you've got your summary, which gives you your workflow, and then your more info tells you more details on the permits. I guess it's kind of similar because you had to dial down anyway on the other permits to find out more workflow anyway. It would be nice if they had one way of printing everything related to the permit, but here's your permits, okay? So I said I would go over that, and if you have questions, feel free to let me know. But the permits are, you know, kind of a big thing, especially as we've got more and more buyers coming from the mainland, and they want all their permits closed before they close on a transaction, especially people coming out of California. And I've talked to a lot of people from California, and they said people can get after the fact permits through in like a week or two. And I'm like, well, here you're looking at 6 months. So if you have a listing that's coming up, make sure that you look at this to see if there's any permits. And if there's open permits, you may just have to, you know, if the county won't close them, and the county will close them out, guys. If you have a permit that had a final inspection, if you call, a lot of times the county will close it out. Okay, because a lot of times it was an error. But if not, if it's still open, and they'll expire it for you. If the work was never done, they'll just expire it, which is similar to closed. But if the work was done, I mean, doing an after the fact permit can get costly for the seller, but it also gets costly for the buyer. Okay. All right, next, some news articles. Did I get rid of them?
So Maria, in general, like overall, how long would it take to get like a structural permit?
For what?
Like say someone wanted to build an Ohana on a property.
2 years.
Okay.
15 months is usually the typical time, and then takes 6 months to build. So the permit time is what's taking so long for anybody to build anything here.
Right.
Okay. In other places, permits are 6 months or less. So,
Okay.
but it's 2 years to build Ohana with, you know, a year and a half to get your permits. I'm in the process of getting a permit for a barn. I'll let you know.
Okay.
So, but my barn should be 3 months. But we'll see. Because there's gonna be a septic and bathroom and everything else in the barn. It's a pretty big barn. Okay. Next. I told you that it might happen. Ben Bernanke says stagflation is coming. So we were talking about this a little bit. Stagflation, does anybody remember what stagflation is?
No. That's my first time hearing it.
Okay, well, stagflation was around back when Carter was president. And what it means is that you have inflation going up, you have interest rates going up, and you have the GDP not going anywhere. Wages can tend to go down, so nobody's buying anything. But the cost of the goods to produce are so high because of the cost. Like, for instance, building a house is so high because wood prices went up 2,000% in the last year, right? So that causes stagflation. So stagflation is not a good time to be in. Okay. We don't want stagflation. It's better to be in a recession or in a growth than to be in stagflation, because stagflation is like you're stuck. Okay. So if this happens, which is, Ben Bernanke's thinking it's going to happen, it won't be good. Next thing on keeping you abreast of the news, and we're going to go over in more depth at 2:30 if you want to come to that. And so that was Ben Bernanke, and then builders. Okay, so the builders have slowed production. Okay, that's actually a good thing. Okay, you don't want an oversupply of properties sitting out there and them not being sold. Okay, because A, they deteriorate, B, they drop prices on everything else. Okay, so builder sentiment has dropped, but they're also going to stop building as much. Okay, that was also due to the interest rate hike, right? So interest rates are climbing. Okay, so as interest rates go up, they're going to build less. Number of permits slipped from 3.2% to 1.82 per million. Okay, all right. Next, new construction. New construction is down. Mortgage demand, home buyer demand for mortgages. This one was big. So I told you that we're seeing less and less people get mortgages, right? Well, new mortgages. So that means people that went into escrow about 30 to 60 days ago. It's tumbled down 12% from last year, or 15% from last year, and it dropped 12% this week compared to the week before. So that means as mortgage applications drop, this is applications. As mortgage applications drop, less and less people are going to be buying with a mortgage. So cash buyers, guys, are still the king. We still have a lot of cash buyers here in Hawaii. So if you got a cash buyer, they're going to be probably the ones more motivated to buy than anybody else. But reminder, make sure you're telling people that interest rates are going to keep going. Was it Bernanke that said they're going to be at 9% by the end of the year? I think they'll be at 10, but anyway, let me see if I can find the article on it real quick. But anyway, interest rates are going to keep going. So if somebody wants to buy, I'm taking a buyer out tomorrow, right? That's doing a loan because they want to get in. Here's the thing about Hawaii's real estate, guys. Everybody's expecting a big bubble in Hawaii, right? But we don't have any inventory. Bubbles happen when you have an oversupply of inventory. Now we're seeing it on the mainland because they were building for the last 2 years. The only thing I've seen built in the last 2 years was the hotel on North Kihei or South Kihei Road. What was that called? The Maui. It's the Hilton, right? That timeshare.
Yeah. They're also doing that new construction too in Wailea.
Okay, yeah, but there's not a lot of building going on, right? So on the mainland, like downtown Chicago, you see, because where I'm from, they have cranes everywhere. They're building like they were back in 2005. So they're doing new construction in other places. Here, they're not doing it so much. Okay, so, and that, I believe, if you're talking about the one in Wailea, there was a luxury property in Wailea as well as a affordable housing project in Wailea. Yeah. So what are you guys wanting to focus on as far as projects? Do people want to know about new construction, affordable housing? There was a project that was supposed to get pulled, that Wailea 660. It got rejected again. I don't know if that thing's ever going to happen. You guys know about Wailea 660?
Mm-mm.
No,
So Wailea 660 is up next to Maui Meadows. Okay, it was supposed to
Okay.
be 660 homes.
Wow.
It's been on the block to get approved for, I think, 25 years now. It was supposed to start back in 2010 or 11 when I moved here. And they got it passed by putting in affordable housing. Well, what ended up happening was the county allowed them to build the affordable housing and then pulled their permit to build the Wailea 660 because the Wailea 660 are luxury homes. I'm hoping, they just had an environmental group stop it. I'm hoping the environmental group will back off and it'll get approved because we do really need it. We do really need it. Okay. Any questions? Sorry, I had my son just come in the door. He's sick from school today. All right.
I guess, yeah, with the affordable homes, do they go on the MLS like normal homes, or do you have to just apply through the program and get
Yeah.
on?
So here's the thing, guys.
I'd love to
With
let
the
people know about
affordable
that.
housing, depending on the project, you may not get paid to bring a buyer.
Right.
Yeah,
So I haven't been really focused on affordable housing. And people ask me about them, but most of the time, if they do co-op, they're only co-oping 0.5% to 1%. It's ridiculous, right? I mean, if they co-op at all, like Sotheby's had an affordable home project and they co-op nothing. The affordable homes builders here on Hawaii, because they have to keep the prices so low, they tend to only pay a total commission of 1 to 2% to the brokerage. So we were actually up for an affordable housing project and we were going to have to do 2.5%, but we were going to sell it out of our office. But then we got undercut by another brokerage that went for 1%. So I'm like, goodbye and good riddance, because I really don't need the headache. But yeah, so that's how the affordable housing projects work. Now, what has to happen with affordable housing is the buyer has to qualify. Each affordable housing project is different. It could be 80% of the median home price up, or home median income, all the way up to 140% of the median income. It depends on the project. Like they went up to 140% of the median income on, which I think is the max you can go on. What's that place next to
Imale?
Kahoma Village,
Oh,
where they have the single family homes that are now selling for 1.4 and they originally bought them for 600
oh God.
3 years ago. So yeah, the pricing, if you guys haven't jumped into real estate, you do get some nice bounces here and there with real estate. I actually recommend every single one of you guys own property, even if it's just a condo. It's a good way to go. Hey, Joe T, how you doing?
Hi.
So Joe T, we went over, you should play this back. I'm not going to go over it again, but how to do the new permits with the new permit system.
Oh, that was what I wanted. Yeah. I'm sorry. I got on a call with clients. They stopped meeting, but I'll watch it again. You know, I was just talking with Aaron yesterday about this affordable housing thing and how you have to qualify to get in, and then now you can just sell it for whatever you want, or sell it, you know, it just doesn't seem right. Like, I don't understand how people.
No,
why
not all of
they're
them.
even
Not all of
allowed.
Yeah,
them.
some of them you can't sell for like a long
Like 10
time.
years.
years.
Most
Yeah.
of them are 10 years. Most of them don't. If you get in the affordable housing program, you can't sell them for 10 years. At Kahoma Village, so what happened over at Kahoma is the developer had to have a certain percentage of affordable homes, right? And they had these condos that were affordable homes, and then they had the single family homes. And out of the single family homes, they had offered 10% of them as affordable homes. Those owners still have to own those for 10 years. Okay.
And live in
And-
them, right?
Yeah, but
and
why
live in them
10
as your primary
years?
residence. Do what?
It would solve all the problems if they just kept them affordable indefinitely. I mean, we
Well,
have
what
all,
happened was at Coahoma, like in the condos, not enough people actually qualified for the affordable housing. So they ended up taking some more of those condos. They only sold like 5% to affordable people. The other 5% that they were required to do for affordable ended up going back on the market at market rate, which the developer just has to hold it off for I think it was 12 months, try to get some affordable people in. And if people don't qualify, that's not their fault. Then they can open it up and raise the price to market rate.
well, that makes sense, but I don't know about this 10-year thing. I think they should just keep it that way so that we don't have problems in the future with housing for local people. Like, I don't understand why they change it, you know, and then people can cash in. And meanwhile, you got people like struggling, like, you know, to purchase, like I just purchased, and I'm like, it's not a struggle, but it's like, yeah, I had to really work hard to get my place. And, you know, I don't know. I just don't
Well,
understand why.
if you force somebody that's held the property for 10 years to not be able to sell at market rate, that's not capitalism. That would be price controlled
Well,
socialist policies. And if you do
but
that,
purchasing it for low income is also socialism, if you want to say it. I mean, it's the same
well,
thing.
but they have the ability, those low income people, to make a profit. So good on them is what I say. In 10 years, they've kept it for 10 years and they have the ability to make profit. So then they could buy something else. So in 10 years, they've done pretty well. So it helps bring people up from low income into a new area, you know, because in 10 years, prices go way up on those affordable homes. So anybody that can actually qualify for affordable housing should do it, because by the time you actually sell, you're going to have, you bought it at a discount, and then you're going to have a 10-year growth appreciation. You're going to make a bundle of money.
Is there a resource to send people who want to get on those lists? Just like Google affordable housing Maui, or is there like a special website that you recommend?
There's multiple different sites. Let me go to, but yeah, it's just Google affordable homes Maui. I mean, and here's the thing. If you go to the general membership meeting, guys, they talk about them. You guys all should be going to the general membership meetings. If you haven't gone to the general membership meetings, you should start going. They're free, they're virtual. They do cover a lot of stuff that needs covered. They're done once a month. So just make sure you make it to the general membership meeting. Is it once a month, or I think it's once a month. I make it probably at least 6 times a year. Okay, it's published right on the meeting, they publish it about a week ahead of time when they're going to do it. Sometimes they don't do it every month. Sometimes it's every other month, but they do publish it. Okay, it's
They
right
put it
off
in
of
the
the Paragon.
MLS.
They put
in
it on the
Paragon?
MLS. Yep.
Hmm.
It's usually on the first.
When you
Oh,
log
this is
in.
this is the new planning site. Yeah, it's on the, when you log in, right in the
You can
middle.
see your screen.
Oh. Because I have 2 different browsers, sorry. Okay. I guess they haven't we just had one like a week ago. Okay, do read through this too, guys, because this does have really good information that you need to keep up to date on. It's got the HomeSnap information. It's got some videos from HomeSnap. Has anybody actually scheduled a showing through HomeSnap?
Nope. And I've been doing showings and I just keep doing it the old way.
Has anybody seen in the agent remarks somebody say, please schedule through HomeSnap besides us?
No.
Oh man, it's just so ridiculous. All right, the coronavirus NAR form needs to go away. Nobody's using the coronavirus forms anymore. Yeah, I don't see it on here. Okay. And then Michelle's gonna mention there was some scam or something on Workplace. Just be careful when you sign up for stuff on Workplace. The executive or the brokers are taking care of it, I guess.
They're also on Facebook. So good to be aware of.
Facebook.
The same guy is, yeah.
Oh, Well, I guess there's scammers everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So nationally, things are starting to slow, which it does start to trickle over time, guys. So just be aware of that. When nationally things start to change, it does hit, but it usually hits us about 6 months later. So the interest rates are slowing people down. They're kicking some people out, but we still have a lot of buyers that are cash. So now people just have choices on houses and there's less multiple offers. All right, anybody have any new listings you want to mention? We are still out of escrow over in the island, so if you guys have any buyers, please bring them through. It's at 1.3. Just fell out of escrow or fell out about a week or so ago. It's back on the market, it's freshly painted, freshly cleaned. If you have any buyers that you want to come through, that would be great.
Which one is it?
It's at the islands, 24 Mela and Noah. You want to see it?
I've seen it.
Okay.
I have one that's coming, maybe mid-June in Kihei. It's a home with a no hana, 4-bedroom, I think 2-bath, has a garage, a very large lot.
What are you pricing it up?
I think it's going to be 1.5.
Okay,
Where is it, Jyoti?
It's in Kihei, kind of before the triangle, but past Azeka, kind of in that area.
which side of the South Kihei Road?
Mountainside.
Is it in my neighborhood?
It could be. I
Okay,
don't exactly know your neighborhood.
well, my neighborhood's a local neighborhood, but a house down the street that was a complete gut remodel just sold for 980. It needed completely gutted.
Mhm.
And then one that was just lightly remodeled sold for 1.3, two
Mhm.
houses down. So the prices are, this is the
Yeah.
neighborhood I just bought into. Prices are kind of crazy over here.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty big, you know, and the lot is huge. I mean, it's like, it's pretty big. I think we're gonna try for that, but we'll see.
Yeah,
You know,
we're
what you
behind
get
Hope
closer.
Chapel area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a party in June. I don't know what you guys' schedules are, if anybody's taking off, but we're gonna do a nice big pool party, barbecue, if anybody wants to come. We'll invite everybody,
When?
lots of parking. June, let's see. On calendar. June 25th. I will be back from, I'm going away to Florida to the shareholder summit. If anybody wants to go, we do have the shareholder summit in Florida and Orlando. The 20th through the 22nd, I believe. No, yeah, 20th through the 22nd. And then the Build conference you guys know about with Tony Robbins. So if anybody's going to that,
I was thinking of going to that. You going to that?
I'm going to that. I was just on a call, just so you guys know, with somebody from, I want to say Tennessee, that called the Maui team lead, which we all know who the Maui team lead is, Lisa, and got her to go to the Build conference with them.
Oh,
So just so you know, we might have the Maui team lead come in, Lisa, although I thought she moved to Texas for some reason, outside of Austin.
well, I mean,
Is
what are the
Lisa still here?
implications of that?
Do what?
What are the implications of that? I mean, what are you saying? I mean, I know.
Oh, there's no implications. The more EXP people, the better.
Oh,
All right,
wait,
and then
Lisa, team lead? I don't know what you
Team lead.
mean.
she's the team lead for Keller Williams.
Yes, I know that. Yes.
Yes. So she's getting attracted. We've had her to multiple different events at EXP already, but someone else is now trying to attract her.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
They paid for her to fly over for Build.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But Build is not just EXP, it's for just like leadership and stuff, right? Or,
Build is an agent attraction event.
oh, it is.
Yeah, so Build is, I'm gonna share my screen. So just like I went to Cabo in, February, it's done by Brent Gove. Okay, this is Build 2022. Tony
Oh, I thought
Robbins is
it-
the keynote speaker.
Isn't it for, it's for other, you don't have to be an agent to go to it, right?
Anybody,
it-
you can bring whoever you want to any of our events.
Right, but I thought it was like not just for agents, it's for like building your, any business, no?
No, this is through EXP. We sponsor, well, not
Oh.
EXP doesn't sponsor it. Brent Gove sponsors it. This is his event.
Oh.
So you saw Gene Frederick up there. You saw Brent Gove up there. It's a really good time. It's in Dallas, right outside of Dallas. And that's where we were at last year, jumping around. There's lots of fun networking events. And it's about how to grow your downline. Okay. So that's all Brent Gove does. He does that and he does Cabo and then he does little tiny things. Okay. And then we have Shareholder Summit and EXPCon, which are our normal conventions, which are sponsored by EXP. EXP does not sponsor any agent attraction events. It's agent sponsored only, if that makes sense. Shareholder Summit is at, believe it or not, the very first place they had, so 2022. There's a mentor and hospitality suite, different how to crush it with videos on real estate. So they do different trainings at the Shareholder Summit. So all of these conventions, guys, I mean, to me, it's cheap because, and if you don't want to go to it, I think you can pay $500 to get it all streaming. Okay. If you don't want to pay for the hotel and the flight and everything else, but they've got X Camp, different sponsored sessions and training, Rio and relocation, Sphere Rockets growing by 10x with virtual assistants, icons and how to be a mentor. They've got a Latino collaboration. The general session will tell you all about EXP. And they go over all this. The general session at the shareholder is kind of going over where our financials are. It does get a little dry, we'll say, on the general session there. They have a breakfast for military members at EXP Hall. Leadership, Rio, relocation, and affinity sessions. And then we have some drinking sessions, social happy hour, and there's commercial, and then we're all going to Universal Studios the last day. And the big bash is going to be at Universal Studios. Okay. And then the next day they have an icon session. So there's extra training that you get for free. Well, it's included with whatever you're paying for. They have a 5K run. It's just a big event. And then the EXP, I think they just announced EXP, EXPCon 2022, EXP Realty. You have to, otherwise you'll go to that other thing.
Jay Shetty is awesome.
Do what?
The speaker, Jay.
Yeah,
He's
he's
really-
good.
Yeah.
Okay, they haven't announced it yet. So usually at Shareholder Summit, then they announce the dates for EXPCon, which will be sometime in Las Vegas. It's coming to Las Vegas again, 3-day event. I don't know the dates. Oh, there it is, October 11th through the 14th. And it's going to be at the Mandalay Bay this year. Last year it was at the, I don't remember. I always stay at the Wynn, but because the Wynn doesn't pump all that chemical into the air. Then they had it at the MGM one year. So next year it'll be Mandalay Bay. So I'll stay at the Wynn and walk over. Okay, so if you guys want to go to that, and then they'll have, what different classes. It's a 3-day event for EXPCon. Those are the 2 ones supervised. And again, they have really, really good classes. They had classes on cryptocurrency. They had classes on how to do technology marketing, how to do social media, how to do videos. how to expand your business. And we were just in a class. So if you guys missed the Monday agent attraction class, that's where I heard about Lisa. But there's this guy who's killing it. He just got his license a year ago. He's got
Let's go, Mom.
100 people in his downline, 9 on his first row. He sold 67 properties. And it was like $62 million in his first year. I thought it was pretty impressive. And all he said is, all I did was listen to the classes and execute everything they told me to do. He said, I know nothing about real estate. And I don't remember where he came from. He came from like some other like
Yes.
manual labor business. But it was, if you get a chance to play Monday's agent attraction meeting back from EXP Partners, I recommend you do, because it was a really good one. Okay. And if you guys want to join on Mondays, you can. That again is in the calendar. Let me go to calendar. And how to get in is in there too. So you can actually go right into there. On Mondays, it's at 10 o'clock. Epic Attraction Leadership Meeting. It says leadership meeting. I guess that I'm going to take that off. Epic Attraction Meeting. It is an agent attraction thing. So if you're not into agent attraction, that's fine. But you know, they do have some good stuff as far as growing your tribe, if you will. Okay. Anybody else? Questions? Anything else you want to bring up?
When will the meeting, because I want to watch the first part of this. How long before?
I'll
it's
upload
complete?
it right after we're done. I'll throw it on YouTube as well as in Ohana Tribe. And
Okay.
then I'm gonna be at the office at 2 o'clock because we're gonna have training at 2:30. Okay,
What are we doing training on?
Thank
market shift and how to handle a market shift.
Okay.
And then at 3 o'clock, I'm having happy hour. And we're gonna be doing happy hour every week from now on. So if you have people you want to bring through, feel free to bring them through. We're gonna just go back to consistently doing it every week because we're having so many people want to join right now that I think it makes sense for us to get back to consistently doing it. Plus, whenever there's a market shift and people realize how much money they're actually giving to their brokerages, they're like, oh, wow, we should join somewhere else where we don't have to spend so much money at our brokerage, that because they're going to realize their brokerage name doesn't do anything for them once the market shifts. And they're going to be like, oh crap, I need to save money. And that's when a lot of people will switch to EXP. Okay. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you guys have a wonderful week. Make lots of money, sell lots of property, and hopefully everything's going well. We do have a new managing broker coming in to EXP as well. So that should be announced next week. And then at the state meeting. And we're just growing like crazy. All right. Aloha, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Aloha. Thank you.
Aloha, bye.